Hello, today we are working on polygons, day 4, irregular polygons. We've been working on polygons for a while, but today we're going to be working on irregular polygons. What does that mean? Well, I'll talk about it in just a moment. So let's go ahead first of all, and let's go ahead and click on this right here. Please open this up. Okay, and when you do, we've got a few things here. So please make sure that you translate this here if you need to. Okay, translate this information. Okay. But the first thing is that what we've done before in the last lessons, we learned about regular polygons. Remember, regular polygons, equal sides, and all angles are equal. So, but today what we're going to learn about is irregular polygons that do not have the same side lengths or angles. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so let's look at an example of what we did before. Before we learned about regular, but today we're going to learn about irregular. Let's take an example of a triangle. A triangle is also a polygon. So a regular polygon, if it's a triangle, would have three sides. All sides are equal, right? 8, 8, 8, and the dash, 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 which also means that all the angles, angle A, angle C, angle B, they're all equal. And if they're all equal, we can actually determine, if we know that the whole polygon, the whole triangle is 180 degrees, we can just take 180 divided by 3 to see that every angle is 60 degrees, right? 60 degrees. So that's what this says right here. All angles are equal. Okay? Now, if we have an irregular polygon where the sides are different, as you can see, all these sides are different. One's 10, 20, 25. Then we cannot do 180 divided by 3. We cannot do that. But what we can do, so that means that all the angles are different. So that means all the angles are not equal. But they still equal 180 degrees. So that's the same. The sum, when you add up this plus this plus this, those all equal 180 degrees when you add them. The only difference is we don't know this angle or that. Okay? So what we can do though, if we're told that angle F, for example, is 90, and that angle D, this one here, is 60, that gives us two angles. And if we have two angles, we can figure out the third. Why? Because we know all three still equal 180 degrees, this plus this plus this. So if we have two angles, F and D, then we can go 180 minus this 90 minus this 60, and that'll tell us the remainder, and that would equal 30. So that tells us the last angle, which would be what? Angle E would be 30 degrees. So that's what we're going to use today to complete the assignment. So let's look at the steps that we went through to find that this was 30. These are the steps right here in finding the angles of an irregular polygon. First, we determine the sum of all angles. Well, we know that a triangle here is 180 degrees, right? So we started with 180, and then we subtracted the angles that are given, the individual angles, which would be 90 and 60. We subtracted those, minus 90, minus 60, and then we found the unknown angle, which was E, and that's how we're going to do the assignment today. So let's go to the assignment. Let's open it up. By the way, that would be right here. Let's go ahead and open the link. Make sure you do the arrow to download it. Okay, ooh, that's not it. Hold on. Okay, so here is our assignment. Polygons day 4, irregular polygons. Okay, so let me make this bigger here. Okay, so the first question says, what is the measure of A? So we're looking for this angle. See if I've got my pen working today. What is the measure of angle A? Okay, that's going to be this one right here. What is the measure of angle A? If the other angle measures are as follows. So we have 71, 70, and 72. So we're told that the first thing we need to determine the sum of all angles of the polygon. And so that depends on how many sides there are, right? So we have, let's see, we have how many sides? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, right? So if we remember, we would have n minus 2, right, times 180. So that's 4 minus 2. That's going to equal 360, okay? Plus, you should know that a quadrilateral with 4 sides was equal to 360 degrees. So now we have 360. So we're going to go 360 minus angle B, 71, minus angle C, 70, minus 72. And that's going to equal angle A, our missing angle. So use your calculator to get that. Okay, so 360 minus 71 minus 70 minus 72 equals 147. So that's what I get for this. Okay, so that's going to be 147. Okay, all right. So you may, if you understand, you may want to try number 2 to see what you get on that. You can pause the video and come back if you want, and then I'll show you. Okay, so step number 1, I took 5 minus 2, figured out that the total, all the angles together, the sum is 540, and then I subtracted all these angles, B, C, D, and E, so that I could find angle A, and I got 131 after subtracting all those. Okay, so go ahead and try number 3 if you want to pause the video and come back, and I'll show you the work. Okay, so on this one, again, we had 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Minus 2, so we get a total of 720 degrees for the whole polygon. And then we take 720, and what I did is I added all these together. So I took all these and I added them together, 667, and then I subtracted them from 720 to get the remainder of 53 for angle A, okay? All right, finally, we have a problem like this. This is a little bit different, it's a little bit challenging, but we're going to use what we know about exterior angles. So when you get a question like this, it's not asking us for an angle, it's asking us for the value of x, right? Well, what is x? X is right here, right? That's not an angle. 3 times x would be the value of the angle, but we want x, okay? Now, first of all, if you look at 3x, it's a degree, but it's an angle, but it's not inside the polygon. So we're also given information about angle A, which is outside the polygon, outside. All the angles we were given are outside the polygon. So what we have to do in that situation is we have to find out the angles inside. So what we know is we've got 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 360 degrees, okay? That's for the whole thing. But we need to get this angle here, and this angle, and this angle, so we can find that angle. So first of all, if angle A is 33, then those two together equal 180, right? So I would go 180 minus 33 is equal to 147. So that's going to be right here, 147, okay? So that's the first angle. This one C, if C is 105, then 180 minus 105 from right here is equal to 75. So this one right here is 75. B is 102, so 180 minus 102 equals 78. So this is 78, okay? So now we have the angles that are inside the triangle are these right here. So if I add these 3 together, what do I get? Okay, so if I add all these 3 together, I get 300. Okay, so that goes right there. So that's 300, but that's these 3. So I need to find out what is this one right here. So I would go 360 that I get from over here minus a 300 from over here equals 60 degrees. But I need to get this one. So I know that this side over here, if this is 60, then 180 minus 60 equals 120, right? But 120 is not this angle. The angle is 3x. So 3x equals 120. So x equals 40. Okay? Oops, sorry. X equals 40. Can't write on it. There we go. So that's the answer for this one. X equals 40 degrees from all the way over here. Okay, so it's a hard problem, but you just got to go through all the steps. Okay, so that's how you do that. So the rest of the assignment is going to be practice questions, the same kind of questions. You do 2 sets of those. And then we're going to have review questions that we learned from before. I'm trying to make this, the rest of the assignment is going to be review questions that you've already seen. So make sure when you're done, you enter your answers into Canvas to receive credit for the assignment.